Hey everyone. So it seems to be a common theme that I've had lately about the impact I've had on others and not known it. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn by any means. Just amazed at the people that have gotten something from our interactions. So the most recent one was today. So you can see I'm a little sweaty. So our air conditioning went out again yesterday. So we had 3 weeks without air conditioning. It got fixed for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then it went out again yesterday. We got home from work. It was 82 degrees in here. So the technician came out today. And at first, when I got the email reminders and the text message reminders, it was that, you know, so and so is going to come out between 10:30 and 1. So and so is going to come out, and then I was like, wow, it's not the same guy. It's not the guy that I talked to before. Not the guy that did all the work. Finally, mid afternoon, I got a message that said Jorge's going to be there between 2:30 and 4. I'm like, sweet. Jorge's the guy. Jorge is the guy who took care of everything, got it fixed right the first time. I'm sure he'll figure it out. And so Jorge shows up right after I got home. Nick and I got home from running errands. And he's like, hey, bro, I'll figure this out. I don't know what happened. I'll take care of it. I'm like, dude, I'm just glad you're here. So he got it figured out pretty quickly. It was a leak, and he found it, and he said, this is our fault. And I'm like, no, I don't care whose fault it is. Just I'm glad you're here to fix it. However, what was cool about it, when Jorge left the last time, when the AC we thought was 100% fixed, I sent him with papayas from our papaya tree. I sent him with peppers, jalapenos, scorpion peppers, everything from our pepper plants. I sent him with hot sauce, and I sent him with a copy of my book. And like most people that I know, most people that we know, when I hand somebody a copy of the book, my only condition, whether it's my book or somebody else's book, is my only condition is that you read it. And he agreed. He's like, I will read it. I will read your book and I'll try your hot sauce. So he's back here today and he's finishing up. Everything's working now. So it's cooling down. So I'm still sweating, but it's cooling down. It's 5 degrees cooler than it was about an hour ago. However, I'm outside there chatting with him a little bit, and he turns around in mid operation, turns around and says, bro, your book has changed the way I think. And I said, what? He said, man, I'm from Cuba. He's like, I migrated from Cuba with my parents when I was 11 years old, spent most of my time in Miami. Now I'm here in Tampa area. I have been for about a year. He's like, what you talked about forgetting the programming, and you talked about throw the victim card out the window and how to be an owner, not a victim, and how to forget the programming. He's like, that's what I grew up with. I grew up in communist Cuba, and then in Florida or in Miami, I grew up in with my parents telling me you have to do it this way, this way, this way. He's like, your book changed the way I look at things. And I was sitting there going, I know he agreed to read it, but I honestly, in my mind, my story I was telling myself was that he wasn't actually going to read it. And he admitted he's not read the whole thing yet, but he read he's read a few chapters. And the impact, back to the impact that you're having, he's like, I've told everybody I know about this book. And I was like, dude, I'm not here to make money on this book. I just want to help people. I just want to serve people. I want to help people. And he's like, well, you help me. I was like, so of course I sent him with more papayas and more peppers and more food and more stuff. Although it makes you think. It makes you realize that no matter how small, and whether you believe it or not, or know it or not, the people you interact with, if you are truly authentic and truly being yourself and truly leading with love and service, you are serving people. And those people see it. Whether you get the feedback or not, you are serving. I honestly never expected to get feedback from Jorge. And when Jorge was sitting there, he literally stopped what he was doing, came onto the porch where I was standing, and had this conversation with me. He's like, bro, he's like, your book is phenomenal. He even went out. He went out to his vehicle, grabbed the book, and pulled open a chapter and said, oh, this is what I meant right here. Where he talked about throwing the victim card out the window, where he talked about not blaming, not complaining, taking 100% responsibilities. Like, it was mind blowing. I read this chapter to my wife and I'm like, wow, wow, what better feeling than that? And honestly, it just makes me feel good. I don't, again, I'm not trying to make a bunch of money from this book. I just want to serve people. I want to help people. I want people to open their eyes to what's happening with them, to be their real selves and to own their lives. And to hear that from a guy who's an air conditioning technician who spends most of his days driving from house to house to fix air conditioning units, to come back and say, dude, this is awesome. That's awesome. That's living in service. So live in service. Be that person that, who cares if you get the feedback or not? Serve, serve, serve. Be authentic, be in integrity. And who cares if you have a guy like Jorge? It doesn't matter. Continue to serve, serve, serve. Because when you serve, you're helping our fellow human beings. Help the fellow human beings. Help everybody. Serve everybody in the best way that you can. And it's going to be different for each person. For Jorge, it was a copy of the book. Yeah, he mentioned getting the fruit and everything, but it wasn't the impact that had on him like the book did. And for somebody else, it may not be me giving them my book. It may be me just having a conversation with them and finding out what's going on in their world. And it may be the same for you. So just find that way to be the authentic self. Serve people the best way you know you can. And do it. Do it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Well, there's nothing bad that can happen from service. Now, you might get somebody that doesn't like it. So what? Out of 100 people, you get 2 people that don't care, that don't like it. So what? Serve, serve, serve. And serve from a place of unconditional love. Thank you, Ankush. And authenticity. That's what I got for you today. Make it a great rest of your day. And always remember, never forget to be schmaltzy. Take care, my friends. Awesome. Awesome.